Is it true? Does milk hydrate better than water? Find out on this next episode of Digest This.
Welcome to Digest This, the show that helps you revolutionize your digestive health. Here are your hosts, Dr. Liz Cruz and Tina Nunziato.
Hello and welcome to Digest This. I'm Dr. Liz Cruz and I've got Tina Nunziato sitting right here by my side. Thank you so much for joining us. We know that everyone has such hectic, busy schedules, and so by the mere fact that you are listening to us, maybe even watching us, that means so much to us. It really does. And we appreciate you so much. And we just thought it might be interesting to talk a little bit about hydration today.
Well, the billboard kind of triggered
The
it.
billboard.
Yes.
Yeah.
I actually told you about this billboard a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
But you didn't see it until today, and then I thought it was funny that you called me. You're like, I just saw this ridiculous billboard.
Yeah, I mean, I remember us talking about it, and but then that was pretty much it. But then, and I hadn't seen it, and then when I actually saw that billboard yesterday when I was driving, I was like, wow, like I just can't believe that we're actually even having this discussion.
You're like, I don't even know what to say. This is so ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, why?
Okay, so what does the billboard say?
Okay,
It says
the billboard says milk hydrates
better than water.
Yes.
Yes.
Milk hydrates better than water. Yes. And if I'm not mistaken, yesterday was the first time I've seen it. I think it's a pretty big billboard where that's the main thing on the ad, right?
That's all it says. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So, I mean,
your attention. It did what it was supposed to do.
It did. And it just, supposed to get you thinking, right?
Right.
Supposed to get you thinking. I mean,
or is it supposed to help people justify who drink milk?
Who do you think put that out?
Themselves feel better about drinking more milk.
Would that be the milk industry?
Yes. I remember you calling me. You're like, who would say such a thing? And I'm like, the milk and dairy industry would say such a thing.
Yep.
Of course they would.
Yeah. So I thought it was pretty interesting. And yes, I did call Tina like right away, and I was like, okay, I saw it. So there's, so I looked it up, of course. I had to look it up. And
they're like, where is this coming from? How could they justify saying this?
Yeah, so there was an article that came out by a physician in November of 2022. Mm-hmm. So this billboard probably has been out already. And I know there's been all sorts of, drink milk billboards and ads, for decades. I mean, I realize that. But this particular one, I don't remember seeing it before.
There's a lot of posters even in schools still.
Oh, yeah?
Tons of posters in schools
for promoting milk drinking. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, this article looks like it was put out in November. And like I said, it was an MD who put it out. He's a senior faculty editor with Harvard Health Publishing. All right, so a reputable organization, Harvard, and basically he just put in there, when replenishing fluids, does milk beat water? Some of the studies suggest milk is better than water, but the evidence is weak. I would like to maybe emphasize the evidence is weak. And so he actually went through talking about what's behind the claim, and he quoted like 3 studies that are out there. One from 2007, there's a couple of them from 2016, where basically they hydrated people. One of them only had 11 volunteers. The other one had 7.
So this study is based on literally like less than 20 people.
Yeah, there was one that had 72.
Oh, 72 people.
Yeah, 72. Okay. And so basically, people that in one of the studies, actually in 2 of the studies, they were markedly dehydrated.
The people.
Yes, and basically were given rehydrated with a different drink. Okay, and they would drink milk, and they found that the study volunteers that drank milk produced less urine, okay? Therefore, retaining more fluid.
Wow.
Okay? They produce less urine with milk than with water or with a sports drink. Okay, and therefore the conclusion on that study was that milk is considered to be a better hydration, hydrate better.
Because urinary output is a direct correlation to hydration.
Right. Right. And one of the articles that I found, they were talking about why they feel, one of the factors as to why they feel that milk hydrates better than others. Okay. And one of the factors that they look at is in regards to the nutrient composition of the beverage. Okay. And by the way, I also looked up how much water is in cow's milk and immediately found immediately at the very top of my Google search, about 87% water. All right. And then the rest of it, 13% is protein, fat, carbohydrates, vitamins, minerals. Okay. All right. So back to the factor of milk's nutrient composition. So they're saying that milk is more hydrating. It contains sugar, lactose, protein, and some fat, all of which help to slow down the emptying of fluid from stomach. And so by keeping fluid sitting in the stomach longer, they conclude that you're going to be able to hydrate for over a longer period of time.
Wow.
Okay. Also, milk has sodium that acts as a sponge and holds on to water in the body. So, as a result, you have less urine produced. All right. I just don't know what to say. Okay. And so then the other study that they did, again, was 7 men with marked dehydration after exercise who drank milk, fat-free milk, water, and Powerade, and basically their results were similar. They concluded that milk was considered to hydrate better. And then the other study was one from 2016. That's the one where they had 72 healthy, well-hydrated men who drank different fluids, and then they would measure their urine production over the course of 4 hours. And what they used as drinks in that study was whole milk, skim milk, beer, and Diurolite, which is an oral rehydration solution used after fluid loss from diarrhea, tea, coffee, Diet Coke, regular Coke, orange juice, and Powerade. Wow.
So each person only drank one of those things, I assume.
Probably.
Yeah, because
probably.
you can't drink
right.
all those things and still.
And
so you had 72 people drinking, 12 different things?
Yeah, sounds like several. And then the researchers found that fluid retention was best after drinking either type of milk or the oral rehydration solution. All right? Results of other drinks were similar to water. It's interesting that their focus is on fluid retention.
Right.
Fluid retention and
Which
less.
doesn't necessarily mean it's hydrating you better.
No, it doesn't. I mean, what if you're retaining fluid in the tissue, in your tissue where it actually just makes you look more puffy,
Yeah.
more puffy and
causing
bloated.
Inflammation,
Right.
Which is what we found dairy does to a lot of people.
Yeah. So, the study, and then they go on to describe, the details. Are saying that the findings of the studies are not definitive, and that there's limitations to these studies, so.
What's crazy is that they're putting up billboards based on studies that were done, 1, very long ago, and 2, on such a limited number of people.
Yeah.
And then they're making these claims that they can put on up, for a billboard. When I first saw that billboard, I was with Kai, our son, and he was, he asked me, he's like, "Oh, I just saw that billboard, and what's up with that? And, do you believe that?" And I said, "Absolutely not." I said, he was like, "Well, why can they say that, if that's not true?" And I told him that when I was going to ASU, my first interest was in advertising. I really wanted to do marketing advertising. But the more I learned about advertising, the more I realized that it's just a game of fooling people.
Yeah.
Right? And saying things that maybe necessarily aren't true just to get people to buy stuff. And that didn't feel super great.
And
to
they
me.
and the different industries, companies can get away with that. They can do that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Wow.
You can say whatever you want on a
Interesting.
billboard. I
Interesting.
mean, as long as it's not hurting anybody,
Right.
So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there that's not true, that's in magazine ads and in commercials and on billboards, and you have to do your own research. You
Yep.
really do.
Well, that's why, and that's, I mean, when you think about it, through the years of us having our wellness program and podcasting and doing these things, I mean, yes, we put information out there, and we encourage you to go and research it yourself. Okay, we're not telling you like you should do this, you have to do this. We're just distilling stuff that we get. We also try to do our own research on stuff that we learn and that we're going to share with you, but it doesn't mean that we have all the answers, but we just try to disseminate and share some of these pearls so that you're aware of it. You're aware of it, and then you can go and do your own research.
Amen.
I still, and look, and there's all sorts of stuff about different waters, okay? Also, as far as
we could talk for weeks just
Right.
about water itself.
the
and
molecule water, the clusters of molecules of water, and how that may not get into your cells to hydrate, the way it should. So there's all sorts of stuff about water also that potentially maybe may not make it the best water.
Right.
Where you end up, probably peeing out a lot of that water and not really getting the full benefit. So there is actually a lot of stuff out there.
Yeah.
The bottom line is, in our opinion, it is our humble opinion that
Based
milk,
on years
yeah,
getting people off of everything else and just drinking water.
yeah. So what are you going to do? Just rely on milk and rely on the fact that because there's some fat and protein in there, it's going to sit in the stomach longer, and so you're going to absorb some of that nutrient. I mean, look, you can do that, but don't stop drinking water, because ultimately water is
The only thing that
the best
hydrates.
hydrator.
Yeah. It is the only thing that hydrates. Everything else really dehydrates. So
Yeah.
that's what we try to encourage. And 15 years of guidance and thousands of patients that we've talked to, and the advice continues to work time after time. The more water you drink and the less of everything else you drink, the healthier you're going to be. And I even dare patients sometimes, like, just do it, try it for 2 months, and they just
Absolutely.
come back feeling better and healthier and everything. It's just so simple. But then you have billboards like that make us think twice about what we're consuming.
Yeah, and it's a good thing, right? Because then it encourages us to like do the research and to maybe do another episode on our podcast like we're doing now. What other things could we put into water to make it even better? Electrolytes. All right. So yeah, you're having some diarrhea and you feel that what you need is a replenishing type of fluid that is going to have electrolytes, then get some electrolytes. We actually have electrolytes that we sell, and I put electrolytes in, and I know Tina does too. Every time I fill up my bottle of water, I put in a scoop of electrolytes, because I know that I'm sweating through the day. I mean, I'm not outside, but I'm inside, and you still lose water. And so that helps to replenish. That also, a lot of patients and clients of ours, customers that have bought the electrolytes, have said how the leg cramps they were having have disappeared. So electrolytes, drinking alkaline water, that also is something that, I know we've talked about on podcasts. And but those things just help to make it an even better hydrating solution. All right.
Yep. Yeah, and the electrolytes are called super salts.
Yes.
For those people that are interested, and they want to go to our website at drlizcruz.com, and you can check out the super salts and see how they work. We use them for not only hydration, but also helping people who are constipated. We have a strategy for using those with that too, to help patients get off of things like Miralax and some of those over-the-counter things. So a lot of use for having electrolytes in addition to the cramping. Casey was just asking me this morning about her friend who had to leave cheer practice yesterday because of major foot cramps. So I was telling her about trying to get her to drink some salts, you know, in her water. So but we'd love to connect with you. The best way to connect with us is by going to our website at drlizcruz.com. There's a magenta button on the homepage. You can click that to sign up for a free 30-minute wellness consult. We've had a lot of people signing up for wellness consults lately online, so that's been great. If you have not rated our show, please go and rate the show and give us a 5-star so that other people like you can find us. And if you have not subscribed to the show, please subscribe so that you do not miss an episode. So thank you so much for joining us, and we will catch you on the next podcast.
Thank you for joining Dr. Liz Cruz and Tina Nunziato. To learn more about their revolutionary products and services, go online to www.drlizcruz.com.